She only wanted to help her sister by covering a maid shift, but fate had other plans. That night, she walked into the mansion of a lonely CEO single father, and what happened next would change both of their lives forever. Eleanor wasn't born into luxury. She was the eldest of two sisters, raised by a widowed mother who worked tirelessly just to keep food on the table. Eleanor dreamed of becoming a designer one day, sketching gowns in the margins of her notebooks. But reality kept her tied to small jobs and endless responsibility. Her younger sister, Maria, had recently taken work as a maid in one of the richest homes in the city. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. When Maria woke up sick one cold December morning, Eleanor didn't hesitate. She tied her hair back, put on Maria's uniform, and whispered, "Don't worry. I'll take your shift today." Little did she know, that single decision would change everything. Across the city, Alexander Stone lived a life few could imagine. The world saw him as a powerful CEO, confident, commanding, successful beyond measure. But behind closed doors, his mansion was filled with silence. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier, leaving him to raise his little daughter, Lily, alone. He could provide her everything: toys, tutors, the best clothes money could buy. But what he couldn't give her was a mother's love. And no matter how hard he tried, he always felt like he was failing her. On that day, he wasn't expecting anyone new in his home, especially not Eleanor. When Eleanor arrived, she was overwhelmed. Chandeliers, marble floors, golden staircases. The mansion felt like something out of a dream. She kept her head down, determined not to make mistakes. But then she heard a small voice. "Are you my new nanny?" It was Lily, a little girl in a white dress, holding a doll with tangled hair. Her eyes were curious but sad, eyes that had seen too much loneliness for her age. Eleanor knelt down, smiled, and softly said, "No, sweetheart. Just helping your house today." But Lily didn't let go of her hand. She tugged Eleanor into her playroom, desperate for someone to listen, someone to stay. From his office balcony, Alexander watched, his brows furrowed. His daughter never warmed up to anyone this quickly. Something about this maid was different. Hours passed. Eleanor dusted, cleaned, folded laundry. But no matter where she went, Lily followed, chatting, asking questions, giggling when Eleanor pretended to braid her doll's hair. When it was time for dinner, Alexander noticed something astonishing. His daughter was laughing, truly laughing, for the first time in months. Later that night, when Eleanor thought her shift was over, Alexander stopped her at the door. His voice, usually sharp and businesslike, was softer now. "I don't know what you did today, but thank you. My daughter hasn't smiled like that in years." Eleanor smiled shyly, answering with only a few words. "Children don't need much, just someone who cares." Maria returned to work the next week, but Alexander made a request. "Send your sister back." Not for her cleaning, but because Lily wouldn't stop asking for Miss Eleanor. At first, Eleanor resisted. She wasn't meant to be here. She wasn't a maid. But slowly she agreed, telling herself it was just for Lily. Days turned into weeks. She read Lily bedtime stories, taught her how to paint, even baked cookies in the giant kitchen, filling the house with smells of cinnamon and sugar that hadn't been there since Alexander's wife was alive. And slowly, Alexander himself began to open up. He found himself joining them at the table, smiling more, even sharing his fears as a father with Eleanor. For the first time in years, he felt less like a CEO and more like a man. But not everyone approved. Whispers spread among the staff. Why does the CEO spend so much time with her? Eleanor began to doubt herself. She wasn't rich. She wasn't powerful. She didn't belong in this world. One evening, she tried to pull away, telling Alexander she shouldn't return. But before she could leave, Lily ran to her, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Please don't go. You make Daddy smile again. And you make me feel like I have a mommy." Those words shattered Eleanor's resolve. She realized this wasn't just about her. It was about a lonely little girl and a father who needed help healing. On Christmas Eve, Eleanor once again found herself in the mansion. But this time, it wasn't just as a maid. She decorated the tree with Lily, helped bake cookies, and laughed as Alexander, once the most serious man alive, joined in their silly games. That night, as the snow fell gently outside, Alexander stood by the fireplace, watching Eleanor tuck Lily into bed. His heart swelled with something he hadn't felt in years: hope. As Eleanor prepared to leave, Alexander stepped forward. His voice trembled slightly, but his words were clear. "You walked into my house by accident, but maybe it wasn't an accident.